Whoever made that complex list, I just want to let you know something, man. Your ass need to go do rock and roll or some other shit. I swear to God, 21, 18 platinum, 6 or 7 gold. Go look at the certifications. Let me know who beat me, bruh.
Most people's number one fear is public humiliation, okay? I don't give a anymore. I'm not afraid of it because I've had plenty.
Katt's been exposing the dark side of the industry for years, but this time, he's firing straight at Choppa, saying the rapper's fast rise came with a serious cost. And if Katt's cryptic hints hold any truth, that whole awakened image Choppa's been pushing might not be as pure as it seems. Suddenly, the internet's lit up again with talk of humiliation rituals and secret deals behind the scenes. People started connecting dots like crazy. Every time a new star blows up, something wild happens right after, and the crowd goes, "See, they made him do it." It's like deja vu at this point.
I've passed my humiliation ritual with all honors, with flying colors. But the only difference between my humiliation ritual and a lot of others is I was walking with God the whole time. Being deeply rooted in prayer, deeply in search of answers, and deeply rooted and grounded in the palms of his hands through the process of this whole humiliation ritual.
Even the mainstream outlets started noticing how ritual talk became the default label for anything that feels off, creepy, or too shocking to be random. The energy online? It's split between paranoia and the uncomfortable feeling that maybe, just maybe, there's a little truth hiding under all that chaos. Fame ain't about pure talent anymore. It's about spectacle. You can rap, sing, act, whatever. But if you don't pull a stunt that gets people screaming online, the spotlight moves on. It's wild. You gotta do something outrageous, humiliating, or straight up spooky looking just to stay trending.
You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
It's to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Take Lil Nas X, for example. When he dropped Montero, Call Me By Your Name, Jay Christ, and that crazy Satan shoe collab with MSCHF, the internet exploded. Conservatives were calling it demonic, while the conspiracy folks shouted, "There it is, another ritual." Lil Nas laughed it off, said it was all marketing, just trolling for clicks. But people weren't buying it. The timing, the imagery, the symbolism, it all felt too intentional, too strange to ignore. The vibe wasn't just edgy art. It felt like a message dressed up as a hit record.
I wanted to not necessarily apologize, but I wanted to explain like where my head at and where it's been for like the last week. So first of all, when I did the artwork, I knew like there would be some upset people or whatnot, simply because, you know, religion is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. But I also didn't mean to like mock. This wasn't like a to you people, to the Christians, like, you know, it was not that. It was literally me saying, oh, I'm back like Jesus. Like that was like the whole thing. I'm not the first person to dress up as Jesus.
Something deeper was going on, and fans could feel it. Then you got Sam Smith and Kim Petras at the 2023 Grammys, draped in blazing red latex, surrounded by flames, turning the stage into what looked like a scene straight out of a dark fantasy. Their performance of Unholy had people online rebuking their TVs like they were witnessing something spiritual gone wrong. The conspiracy crowd lost it, declaring, "That's the ritual. Mission complete." Even casual viewers couldn't deny it looked more like a ceremony than a song performance. The lights, the horns, the atmosphere, it all screamed symbolism, and fans couldn't tell if it was art or an open message to the industry. And just when that buzz cooled down, in comes SHA Boozy, fresh off his fame wave and Met Gala debut, and the internet instantly labeled him the newest recruit. He pulled up in that pearl-dripped, gender-blending fit, looking bold and unbothered. But social media had a meltdown. Within hours, TikTok and YouTube were flooded with humiliation ritual breakdowns, zooming in on every pearl and every pose like it was a clue to something bigger. One user wrote, "Hollywood turned him out," while another commented, "WTF, bro went from masculine to feminine in less than a year." The street started whispering that Shea Boozy wasn't just experimenting with style. He was playing along, doing what the game expects from anyone trying to rise fast. That's the new narrative, right? Every time someone blows up, the world watches for that one strange move, that one shocking outfit, that one symbolic moment that supposedly proves they're in on the plan. But why humiliation rituals, though? Of all things, why that route? Mel Gibson once said it plain, Humiliation is Hollywood's favorite weapon, and it makes sense. Once they break your pride in front of millions, they've got full control. You'll do whatever it takes to keep that spotlight blazing, even if it means trading your self-respect for another hit single, another red carpet invite, or another movie role that keeps your name hot. And just when all that ritual talk started cooling off, boom, NLE Choppa threw gasoline on the fire himself. Out of nowhere, he hopped on his own YouTube channel and dropped a video boldly titled, "I did a humiliation ritual and I passed." Like, he really said that. Straight up, no codes, no metaphors, no filter. The title alone had people's jaws on the floor. But then he started talking like it was an achievement, not a warning. Choppa sat there smiling, saying he passed with flying colors, as if it was some final exam for fame and success. He wasn't hiding, he was owning it, with full confidence, like the whole thing was part of his growth story. But this is where things took a wild turn. In that same video, Choppa said he did his ritual while walking with God. He claimed he was praying, meditating, and keeping his faith strong through the entire process. That line right there flipped the internet upside down. People were like, wait, what? How you mixing prayer and humiliation in the same sentence? The contradiction had everyone's brain spinning. Comments flooded in, some saying Choppa was trolling, others thinking he was dead serious, trying to justify something deeper. One fan wrote, "This gotta be spiritual confusion," while another said, "He's masking darkness with light." The reactions were split, but one thing was clear. The drama had only just begun. And if that wasn't enough, Choppa doubled down later, posting another clip where he bragged like he'd just mastered the entire game. He said he aced the industry and called himself the best, like surviving humiliation made him untouchable. The confidence, the tone, the mystery, it had everyone talking again, louder than before. Then later, Choppa tried to walk it back, saying he wasn't himself when he made those wild comments. But by then, it was way too late. The internet never forgets, and screenshots live forever. People started locking in on a pattern that felt too familiar. Blow up big, do something humiliating, call it growth, and then pretend nothing ever happened. Same cycle, same playbook, just a new face every time. And that's exactly what Katt Williams had been warning about for years. Back in his interview with Shannon Sharpe, Katt wasn't just cracking jokes. He was spelling out the whole system. He said every star who hits the spotlight gets tested. You make it big, they dangle something in front of you. A deal, a check, a favor. And all you gotta do is play the game. Katt said he got offered $50 million, not once, but 4 times, just to take part in that Hollywood circus. He claimed all they wanted was for him to join the DL madness, pull up to those secret after-hour parties, and keep quiet about what really goes on. But Katt said, hell no, loud and clear. He'd rather stay broke and free than bend over for fame and trophies. That's what separates him from most. He's not chasing validation from an industry he's been calling fake for decades. Katt's been out here shouting about the dark side since before half these new rappers even had a chain. He's the one who said Hollywood's power isn't in money, it's in control. And every time a new celeb folds under pressure, Katt's warnings start to sound less like jokes and more like truth echoing through the chaos. Everyone thought Katt was just cracking jokes, but nah. It was never comedy. It was straight up warning shots. Every line he dropped years ago is unfolding right in front of us now, like a movie that's been scripted from the start. The scary part? Most people ignored him because deep down, they didn't want to believe the industry could ever be that grimy. But here we are, watching it all play out in real time. Looking at it now, it's almost mechanical, like there's a formula everyone has to follow. You want fame? Cool, but it's gonna cost you. Maybe it's your peace, maybe your morals, or maybe something darker. That's the unspoken price of the spotlight. Every major star's name gets tied to rumors, whispers of secret ceremonies, silent deals, and trades made behind closed doors. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Doja Cat, all accused of doing some type of initiation to reach that next level. Whether it's symbolism in a music video or strange imagery on stage, fans swear it's all part of the game. And the second someone tries to call it out, the industry flips the script, labeling them crazy, unstable, or out of control. Just look at Kanye, man. He's been shouting about sacrifices and manipulation for years. He even said it outright, that his own mother's death was part of the price for his fame. Those words shook people to the core. But instead of hearing him out, the industry moved quick, blackballing him, cutting his brand deals, pulling his sponsorships, and stamping him with the insane label. Some fans even believe they tried to silence him for good, allegedly, by forcing him on heavy doses of lithium to shut him down. Whether people believe him or not, the pattern's looking real hard to ignore. And that right there is why most people in the game stay silent. They've seen what happens when you speak up. You go from superstar to unstable overnight. One wrong word and suddenly your image flips from powerful to problematic. But no matter how hard folks try to deny it, the patterns just don't lie. Every single time someone hits their peak, Grammy wins, massive tours, billion-view videos, something strange always follows. There's always a public embarrassment, a wild outfit, or some cryptic performance that makes everyone question what's really happening behind the curtain. Now, to be fair, some folks don't buy into the whole ritual narrative. They say the horns, the gender-fluid looks, the dramatic dresses, the crosses flipped upside down. That's just performance art. They call it high fashion, couture camp, bold artistic expression. And yeah, in some cases that might be true. But here's the twist. The aftermath always feels different. Something in their energy shifts. Their aura changes. They start talking strange, dressing weirder, moving like they're under a new script. It's like they don't recognize themselves anymore, and neither do the fans. And people have noticed that a lot of these creative transformations always lean into something that feels coded, gender bending, spiritual mockery, or straight up blasphemous visuals that don't match the person they were when they came in the game. That's why the streets are watching close now. When a rapper who built his name on street anthems suddenly pops out in gothic latex, painted nails, and ritual-inspired poses, folks start asking the real questions. What happened behind closed doors? What did they trade for the fame? And that's exactly what Katt Williams been screaming for years. The fame game's got rules, and those rules come with a cost. Nothing in that world is free. Now the wildest part, even with all the clues laid out, people still act blind. It's like the more obvious it gets, the more folks pretend not to see it. Every week there's a new headline, a new accident, a new viral moment that looks too planned to be random. And just when the public starts asking questions, the story shifts, the hashtags change, and the truth gets buried under memes and distractions. It's a cycle. Control, confusion, silence, repeat. Some insiders have even whispered that these rituals ain't just about fame, they're about loyalty. Once you do it, you're marked, part of the system, forever tied to the people pulling the strings. That's why so many celebrities move the same, talk the same, even post the same coded captions. You ever notice how their messages start sounding spiritual but empty? Like they're trying to convince themselves they're okay, while something darker sits behind their eyes? Then comes the transformation arc. Suddenly, they go from humble to hollow, all smiles on the red carpet, but their eyes say something else. They claim it's growth or reinvention, but the fans aren't buying it anymore. Too many coincidences, too many patterns, too many people switching up right after those bizarre performances or symbolic photo shoots. And when one of them finally breaks, when they try to speak on it, boom, they disappear from the scene, get canceled, or end up in some rehab story that feels more like a cover-up. The silence speaks louder than the interviews ever could. Katt Williams warned us, the industry doesn't destroy you all at once. It does it slow, bit by bit, until you don't even recognize yourself in the mirror. The fame game ain't about dreams anymore. It's survival with a spotlight. You either play the clown, follow their script, or vanish from the spotlight. That's how this fame game works. When NLE Choppa said he passed his humiliation ritual, those weren't just random words. That was a message, loud, bold, and unsettling. It reminded everyone just how deep this rabbit hole might really go. The internet community went wild breaking it down, and the comments were ruthless. One user wrote, "The humiliation ritual was him dressing queer and making us think he switched sides. Then boom, he's supporting the LGBT community right after. Read between the lines." Another user fired back saying, "He's telling us without saying it. He sold his soul, and that's why his career bounced back so fast." Then another hit even harder. "You can't run with the devil and walk with God at the same time." Those words hit deep. And suddenly, everyone online was divided. Some calling it performance, others calling it confession. So what do you think? Did NLE Choppa really pass his way into a higher level of fame, or is he just another pawn caught in the system's grip? It's a sick game out here. One that chews people up, dresses it up as growth, and spits out what's left of their soul. And let's not forget, Katt Williams been screaming about this exact cycle for years. Maybe he wasn't bitter. Maybe he was brave enough to say what others were too scared to admit. Hollywood might shine bright, But behind those lights, there's a price that no one wants to pay. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop your thoughts in the comment. Was Choppa exposing the truth or just trolling the crowd? Smash that like button if you caught something new. Share this with someone who still thinks fame's all glitz and dreams, and don't forget to subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. The next story's even wilder. See you on the next one.